Good morning. Oh, so I'm kind of apprehensive about riding the bike today. I'll be 100% honest with you all. There is potential for rain today. A very high percentage. So possibly no stream on the way home, but I feel like I should at least stream on the way to work. Oh wow, this thing is smooth as fuck now. Holy shit. Look how smooth this is. Although, it does get pretty bumpy later on. So right now, the weather, the temperature is supposedly 70 degrees Fahrenheit. However, that's converted into Celsius. Y'all are smarter than I. I'll be honest, after work yesterday, I went to sleep, and I just stayed asleep. Now, there is a chance that we're gonna have to stop while we're riding this morning. I'll let you all know, because I did feel a little bit of a sprinkle, a little bit of a mist going on. So if it starts raining a little bit harder, depending on where we're at in the ride, I'm gonna stop and pull over. I have my jacket. Like, I have to take everything off except for the helmet. So I have to take off the lights. I'm gonna have to take off the backpack. And we're gonna put on the jacket. With it being about 70 degrees, there's a good chance that having the jacket on would be a bad idea. Oh. Happy Memorial Day for all y'all Americans out there. Oh man, you see that AI viewers? Oh man. I think they're even using a Russian lettering for calm. Maybe a Russian C and an O? I'm not sure. But that's not a regular C and not a regular O. Now I understand why it's so difficult to get these bots and ban all of them. Or maybe they just did uppercase. I don't know. I can't really tell. You know, I didn't even think about this. No, because I went down here yesterday and none of the roads were flooded. But I was just thinking about that right now. I was like, fuck. What if one of the roads is flooded that I go down? Because that's a possibility, y'all. They're not really the greatest. It's an irrigation system, right? Or is the irrigation system only specific for planting, like gardens and stuff? I don't have my what's it called? My gloves today, which is surprising, because usually I lose my my light vest that I have for riding, but today I lost my my gloves. We'll be okay, everybody. Here comes somebody. I think they got their brights on. Possibly. Yeah, they did. It's going to be an interesting day at work today because of it being Memorial Day. There really aren't many trucking companies that are operating today, so we're probably not going to have any trucks going out, but that means probably a lot of cleaning, just very small, like, housekeeping things, or as they call them at my work, 6S. But normally we would go outside, but in the forecast today we have rain, 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 which is possibly why after I get off of work there may not be a stream. I may not stream on my way home just because of how bad the rain might be. Well, actually, that's the only reason. I was going to say and a couple other reasons, but no. That's actually legit the only reason why. Ooh, like, it's already going to be bad enough with my watch. Because once the water hits the watch, it just starts going crazy, and it's like, hey, what are you doing? Speaking of my watch, it does not say that I am biking right now, which kind of sucks. But you know what? We all know, everybody, we all know that I am biking. Do, do, do. What time is it? Yo, y'all, we're actually gonna get there really early. I woke up right when my alarm went off today. I was debating whether I should go back to sleep or not. And I said, I don't need to go back to sleep, y'all. There's a guy behind me. And I don't know what he's gonna do. But you know, I didn't even think about falling trees. I didn't think about a lot of potential hazards today. And I am kind of surprised with how busy it is. Now, we were told by our supervisor on Friday that today is a mandatory 8-hour day. Now, I know most of y'all are like, well, yeah, if you're going to work, you got to work at least 8 hours unless you're part-time. Well, usually, as you can tell by what time I leave, what time I get to work, and then what time I leave work, generally, I work a 10-hour day minimum. But unfortunately, today, because it's a holiday, they will not allow us to work our 10-hour shift. So that sucks. But you know, we'll make it through. We will make it through. So this week's check should be actually a pretty decent check. Because I think I'll have like 70 hours or something like that. Or close to it. I want to make sure that we get a few good paychecks. You know, I just read the name of that bot. His name was Stacked Crackpot. So he's calling himself a crazy person. Oh man. It's like, you know, those few cars that we did see, which surprised me. Other than that, it's been a pretty empty ride today. But I'm kind of curious how that's going to affect the stoplight up here. It's kind of weird, though. Watch isn't saying that I'm riding a bike. Gonna say, is that a car? Well, it is now. Oh man, are we gonna be able to make the light? It's green. No, we're not. Son of a bitch. You know, with me reducing the size of my backpack, one thing that I need to do is I'm going to need to get a new tire inflator that's smaller. Because if I don't, I'll never have a tire inflator for the tires. All right. You know, if it is raining on the way back, it's going to be pretty bad right down here. Because when was it? The last day that it rained? Friday? Third day? Oh, I can't remember. That was last week, y'all. But the last day that it rained, unfortunately, one of these areas where the hill's at got really flooded out. I don't think it was this one. I think it was this hill that we're coming up to. It got really flooded out. There's a car behind me. Right here, yeah, it was this hill. This hill got flooded out pretty bad when when the last rainstorm hit. So I'm probably gonna do the same thing again. There's another car behind me. I hear him revving his engine. And him not going nowhere. So look. I'm not saying anything definitive. But it seems like 70 degrees is the ideal temperature for this bike. Ooh, someone's burning something. Can't tell where. Might be over there. Because we just went the whole distance. And according to my battery gauge, I'm only at 90%. When generally, at this stage, I'm at much. I'm not really much lower. I shouldn't say that. Because I'm not much lower than 90%. But I am usually in the 80% range. So unless there's something wrong with my gauge reader, which I don't think so. $70 degrees seems to be the ideal temperature for this bike. Dude, why are there always so many people, like, outside at this time? You know? Like, currently it's 4:30 in the morning. So you'd think that all of them would be inside working because they don't get off till 7. But nope. There we go. Look at that. We're still at 90%, y'all. That's crazy. That is crazy. Phone, we're at like 85. So kinda good, kinda bad. Oh. Alright. Well, we made it. It's a little bit hot. I'll say that. A little bit hotter. Alright. Gonna have to probably finish drinking this water that's inside this container here. And then refill it with some nice cool water. Oh. But yeah, I really didn't need the sweater, huh? Didn't really need the sweater. Look, I just had to be safe. I just had to make sure that I wouldn't need it. Because, like, I would hate to, like, get halfway here and have the rain start pelting down on me and shit like that. Alright. Alright, everybody. I'm gonna catch you all later. Potentially on the way home if it's not raining. Well, actually, if it isn't raining, I will catch you later. But if it isn't raining, I probably won't. That's what I meant to say. Alright, everybody. I hope you have a great day. And I shall see you guys later. Bye.